I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people, not 2006.
Oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like...
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. It is just the start of the regular season, so we will talk about it plenty, but now we're talking about it plenty, so we got a lot going on, and that's why we have so many NFL videos this week. And Austin... of course, the man that I checked to make sure this was real, Brian DeBall is talking about already playing Jaxson Dart in week 2 of the Giants season.
Yeah, it was, but I think DeBall, from what I've done my research on, has said since then that Russell Wilson will start this week. But because that question was there, I think there's still concerns for Russell Wilson for when Jaxson Dart will make his first start. Looking at the Giants' schedule, they will have a bye week coming up eventually. That week is, let me just see really quickly. That week is week 14. So that's a late bye week. But at what point in the season do you think Jaxson Dart will make his first start? It won't be this week. They confirmed that Russell Wilson will start this week. But after that week, I mean, they have a tough schedule coming up. They have the Cowboys this week, Chiefs the next week, Chargers the next week. Then they have the Saints. Then they have the Eagles, Broncos, 49ers, Bears, Packers, Lions. I mean, they have a tough schedule this year. So when do you think that Jaxson Dart will make his official first start?
Yeah, so I thought it would be at the end of the season, kind of when the Giants season is pretty much over. And that's what made the announcement so surprising or just the speculation of, oh, they're going to play him in week 2. I'm like, yeah, they didn't have a great game, but it was only week 1. So we'll have to. It just really surprised me. So going off that, maybe week 6, they play him.
That'd be against the Eagles. So do you think he makes his first start against the
Eagles? Maybe not against the Eagles. Is that the second Eagles game or the first?
That's the first.
Okay, which one's the one in between it?
The game in between the 2 Eagles games is at Broncos.
Oh dang! I thought there was like maybe the one before the Eagles you mentioned.
Yeah, they play Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, and they do play the Saints in week 5. But that is at Saints.
I guess. Yeah,
that's in New Orleans.
Guess Saints. Yeah. Or you could do a home game, but it doesn't make sense to have Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback and draft a quarterback and play him so early. To me, the point of having Russell Wilson, so you're a competitive team and you draft a guy so he can develop. And then when you're planning for the future this year, if your starter has not played well, then you put him in, not as a competitive now.
Yeah, I think they should wait. But this isn't a should. This is a prediction about when they will, not when they should. I think they should not play him all year. Because, again, I'm a firm believer in the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of QBs that have had plenty of success not starting their first year. But there's also QBs that have had success starting their first year. But in my opinion, you should not start a rookie QB if you can avoid it their first season. So I don't think they should. But I think they will start him. And I think the first game they will start him is after the bye week. I think they'll wait till week 15. I think this is just to try to get fans talking about the Giants and talk about Russell Wilson, but I don't think they will start him until after the bye week to make sure that he is an entire week as the starter the entire week. Maybe he comes in and plays at the end of games, sure, but I don't think he'll actually start a game until week 15.
Yeah, that would make more sense, but I'm thinking given the speculation, kind of talk about it, it's going to happen earlier. And kind of one thing that you were talking about, if he doesn't play this year, that might be the best case scenario for him, because I do think DeBall's job is in the air. So if he never played, you just learned a lot of football. That could be really helpful and not as detrimental as kind of what we talked about last year with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but here's where it's confusing is that the ball's maybe his time as the Giants head coach is on the line. So if he really feels like he needs to make a in a locker room immediately, he may start Dart earlier. It really just depends on how much the team trusts the ball for going ahead into the future, like whether or not they're going to bring him back next year, as long as they're not too bad. And if that's the case, then they may wait a little bit longer. But if not, then I would be shocked if Jaxson Dart doesn't start a little bit sooner. But I think they're going to give the ball the benefit of the doubt. Again, he made the playoffs with them, and this was never seen as a season where they should be competing.
Yeah, I agree. And talking about the ball, I do think he would play Dart under pressure, which is why he wouldn't happen if there's going to be a new coach if he wouldn't have played. Because that's going to be the last case resort for the ball to save his job. But so that's why I'm really curious. Is he already feeling pressure about his job? And that's why he's already bringing up Dart now.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So that's kind of the thing about it. And it wouldn't make sense to do it early, especially because then why not just play him the whole season? So it was really surprising. And I'm curious when he will start. I wouldn't start him till later in the year, but it is a prediction video. So I'll go week 5 at the Saints.
Okay. I'll go week 15, which is a home game against the Commanders.
Yeah, and a home game would be beneficial just given you don't have to work on the away calls and the crowd noise.
That's true. And again, I think the bye week gives them an entire 2 weeks, really, as the starting QB. The bye week and then the week leading up to their first game after the bye week.
Yeah. So the bye week is a great point. So if it was, let's say it's a week 8 bye week, would that
I think he'd start after the bye week no matter what.
Okay. All right. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.